Hey everybody, Kelly with Kelly Cameron Coaching. Just checking in to see how you're doing today. Happy Monday. Thank you so much for everyone that interacted on the post last week about the 5 love languages. If you're not familiar with the 5 love languages, it's a work by Gary Chapman. There's books and I'm sure like lots of videos and even online quizzes so you can figure out what your love language is. Little clue there, it's not pizza, even though pizza was a popular vote. Just to review real quick, the 5 love languages are words of affirmation, physical touch, receiving gifts, quality time, and acts of service. Now, these are how you most feel loved. So that's what your love language is how you most resonate, and your partner or people in relationships with you can show you that they love you, and that's what kind of floats your boat. So today I wanted to talk about the interplay of the love languages in relationships, and not just what your love language is, but what's your partner's love language. That's really important to know. How do you show your partner that you love them and help them to feel really loved and seen and supported by you? So our love language is how we receive. Our partner's love language is how we're giving, like intentionally giving. And it could be our partners, it could be our kids. I've had my kids take the love language quizzes, and even though I love to give them hugs, especially as they are getting to be older teenagers, I've kind of forced them to give me hugs just because I love to give them hugs. But physical touch is not either one of their love languages. It's more about words of affirmation, acts of service, and time for my kids. So another thought about love languages is, if you're not specifically trying to speak another person's language, what is your natural giving love language? And that was a question that was asked to me recently, and I thought that was a really interesting take on it. So unless I'm specifically answering a love language of one of my loved ones, we have a lot of love going on today. My language that I'm speaking is typically acts of service, especially for my family at home. A lot of acts of service that makes me happy and that helps me to show love. Whether they're receiving it or not, that's a different question, but actually my kids both love acts of service. Another thing, a really, really important key to the love languages is, what about making amends after conflict? Conflict is something that we talk about a lot here because it's uncomfortable, but it's really important to learn how to do it in a healthy way, because avoiding it is not healthy. So what happens after conflict when you're trying to make amends with your partner or any relationship? So the tendency seems to be that we express our amends or our we're sorry, we're making amends in our own love language and not necessarily thinking about our partner's love language. And the reason that can be a little tricky is, let's say you have one partner that their love language is words of affirmation, and you have the other partner that their love language is physical touch. So if the physical touch partner is trying to apologize or make amends to words of affirmation using physical touch, maybe that words of affirmation person is not open to physical touch yet. I don't want to cuddle with you. Don't try to hold my hand, because I need you to say something. I need you to tell me you're sorry. I need you to tell me how you're gonna fix it and going forward, and how you love me. So physical touch and words of affirmation, you got to think about that. So if your love language is acts of service and your partner's is receiving gifts, if your partner is trying to give you gifts to make amends, but you really want acts of service, that's something to really think about. So love languages is really cool. It's just something that kind of is in my everyday consciousness, I suppose. It's a really great way of getting to know your partner and what really resonates with them. And it's worked really well with my kids as well. So just an interesting take on relationships, how you give, how you receive, and how you make amends. So lots of interesting things to think about. Thanks again for participating last week. Would love to hear more about if pizza is not really your love language, what is it really? Anyway, talk to you soon. Take care. Thanks for coming by. Bye.